Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining today. We're back on the Grand Rapids in Indiana for our next operating video. And today we're going to run the North Grand Rapids local. There are actually two North Grand Rapids locals. One goes to a couple of small industries. By a couple, I mean like 5 or 6 scattered across northern Grand Rapids, and then another one goes exclusively to the major paper mill that you find right smack at the north end of Grand Rapids Yard. So today, let me pull up our switch list. This is us today. Lovely stuff there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 cars we're picking up, not counting the caboose. Excuse me, cabin car. Correction. Then we've got quite a bit of work we're going to do. Then we're going to come back with 10 cars, or 9 cars plus the cabin. So not bad. And then we'll set those cars out. I have now gotten several of the other industries along the route set up. Not like detailed or anything, but like I've gotten a lot of them into GR&I now with different routes and things. So in a bit of fairness, one of the reasons that every single one of these cars built to go south, actually, oh wait, no, they're all going to the south job. Oh, never mind. Excuse me. Correction there. They're all going to the south job. Never mind. Only one is actually going south on the railroad, and it's going to staging. Never mind. Never mind. But anyways, I do have a lot of these now built in. So, got to continue with the detail work. We'll get there, but I've at least got, like, you know, the creameries in. I need to change that. Actually, it's a processor, not a creamery. That's funny. This is a canola mill, glassworks, little manufacturing facility here for vacuum tubes. And let's see. There's the team tracks here in Kalamazoo. This, I think I want to make it into a pig track, but I'm not sure yet. Still figuring that out. Then, you know, maintenance supply for the engine terminal and sand and fuel and all that good stuff. Yeah. And then the furniture mill and everything else here. So, you know, it's all in GR&I. I'm just getting the routes and the trains and everything set up, and then we'll start placing more cars and populating it and running it. So, yeah, this is one north job here, as well as the coal track right back there. But we're going to run the one that goes around this way. So this will be us today. Bit of a mess over there, but fun to run anyways. All right. Let's get situated. I forget what track we need to pull off of. Check the switch list. We're picking up off of track 6. So yard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. That's us. I need to get these switches named. Also need to get a cabin car. Forget which one we're taking. 477888. Pretty sure that's the one in the back. Yeah. All right. So it's funny, actually. These locomotives are the ones that were drafted by GR&I to be the power today. So we'll take them with us. Use the yard goats for power. Yeah. I was considering taking this turntable out and throwing in 2 or 3 tracks here for like a stub-ended yard to hold cars that are going to the way freight to Kalamazoo. Decided I'm not going to do that. Just going to go ahead and fit those cars on this track in the future because this local's always short. It's about 600 feet is the maximum. So that leaves me about 800 feet to use on this track. And that's not as much as I'd like, but it's some. You know, and then you can grab cars off of the northbound track or southbound track over here. So I think it'll work. I'm going to try it out first, and if I don't like it, you know, then I'll throw this little yard in and dedicate it to just, you know, cars for the way freight. I like the option of building trains from a couple different tracks from time to time. And that's why I was looking at it. Got the sniffles this week, so I apologize for my voice. I know it doesn't sound very good. Alright, let's get back on yard 6. South job is the next one I need to run. I won't film that one. I'll just get it run because I filmed it recently. It is a fun job to run though. But, you know, its track was getting full over here, so gotta run it. So I see there's 18 cars here, and we're only taking 9 of them. Need to run this job a little more frequently, I see. Oh, the caboose whistle. Yuck. Let's change that real fast. Make sure we're all lined up. Okay, we are. Plenty of space here. Let's see if we're taking that tank car. Looks like it. Udelix. 23196. Yep. SP Frisco. No. Which, to be fair, makes sense. We're going to probably be taking the cars that are at the back of the track here. Pensy box car, RFP. Nope. Well, yes, Pensy box car possibly. Plus that hopper. Let's see if it's this one. 236503. 236503. 236503. Yes, okay. Cool, so we got 5 cars we got to sit back on track 6. That's not bad. Alright, let's just put these on yard 2. Yep, yard 2 is clear. Got to run this NYC train sometime soon too. This train from New York Central here just gets on to the GR&I, runs trackage rights all the way over, sets out cars in this interchange yard here, picks up a few, and then continues on and makes it all the way around the staging over here, where it terminates for its run the next day. So, you know, runs back from there. Canadian National kind of does the same thing. Seven five 620. Yep, so that'll take care of both of those. That's good. Cool. These guys can go back to yard 6. What about that reefer? Are we taking a reefer today? 36974. Yes, we are. 570978. No, okay. But that one? 62640? Yeah. Nope. Alright, that's fine. So basically those three in the trunk go together. Okay. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah, when I'm recording, I tend to drive in DCC mode, especially on a model train layout. When I'm making videos for like the Cox and Sub or something, you know, then I drive in realistic mode. But not on the GR&I. Nah, man. I need to be able to run trains, just let them go at a set speed and not worry about them. Just to confirm, 570978 is not going with us. Confirmed. All right. Got that CANL. Probably not. Nope. CCFT, WNC. So that one. What about Erie or Central Vermont? I don't think either of those are going. No, there's a Sioux Line car going though. I love those Fowler boxcars are by far my favorite. Great cars. That one might be going, actually. Yep. And then the Sioux and the B&O. All right. So those three cars. Cool beans. That works out. Alright, since this is our last move for track 6, we'll go ahead and shove this cut all the way on to track 6. That'll do. This train is short enough, we might actually be able to run around it on that leg right there. But I don't want to try. I don't want to try. Definitely hit that tank car too hard. We're on the ground. Call the 050. Alright. Let's get around him real quick. Alright, let's see. So we are going to need to cross over. That's right, because this is accessed from the actual northbound main, not from the branch line. You get those crossings programmed too, actually. Ah, such a nice area, so pretty. I gotta be honest, I'm glad this whole area is done, man. Looks nice. I'm glad it's done. Excellent stuff. It's a good yard. I like this yard. Alright, let's get the orientation changed. That way now forward is actually forward regarding the train. And then we're going to hit the road. Very excited to start figuring out where my problems are with this yard. You know, tracking car movements, trying to make sure things don't get overloaded, balancing, all that kind of stuff. Very interested to see how that plays out. All right, off we go. What's the number on this local? I forget its train number. 306. 306 north. Nice. Okay. So we do have 3 at Mackey's. We'll get that on the way back. That's always the last thing you do. Pretty much got to run around everything once we get there. Fortunately, that is the one sane thing about this local. Because of the space constraints, there's Mackey's right there. Pretty much everything is switched trailing. So you just get up here and then you essentially run around your train. Let's see if these two guys happen to be pickups. Maybe they are. 103049. Yep. 72164 maybe? Yes. Okay, cool. That makes our day easy. Grateful for that, man. Very grateful for that. Almost captured the whole train in one frame. Need to put a couple trucks there or something. So lucky for us, since these guys get to go, we can just pull right here, get all our pickups done, and then just, you know, clear out. It's not necessarily quite that simple, but it's a start. Okay, that switch is thrown the right way. Okay, good. This, I believe, is Hall & Sons. Yeah, I forgot. This area I've actually got signs up. How nice. Okay, so there's our 2 pickups at Hall & Sons. Let's mark those. Any setouts? 1. 94318 is a set out here. That's not this one. That's this one. That's a set out there. We'll have to get to him later. Okay. We're about to see if I got my spacing right. We're about to see. I mean, it's not the end of the world if your train is a bit too long. It just really increases the amount of time it takes to get the job done. We are definitely not too long. Holy cow, not even close. Good. All right. By chance, are we picking this guy up? 23054. Yes. All right, so let's go grab him. What about these 4 guys? Let's see. This is 10-10ers, the cannery. Ah, nice. What a cute name. Proud of that one. And so just like that, we'll actually change the orientation again. Alright, now we will take that switch. That Pensy car, that's Grundyke. Yeah. 504272. He's definitely a pickup. I think I saw him. Yeah. He'll have to be last. That's alright. What about 10-10ers? How many pickups here? 4. I'm going to assume that's all 4 of those. 2 Pensies, a Seaboard, and a Boston and Maine. Yep, okay. Today is kind of an easy day on this job here. That's pretty funny, actually. Okay. So 6 pickups. 7 actually are already done. It's not always this easy. The first time I ran this job, it was not quite this easy. So, you know, it just happens sometimes. It's probably just because there aren't enough cars on the road, and so Jay Moran's like, get the cars moving. Sending so many cars to South Grand Rapids. It's crazy. So there's our 8th pickup, and then we're setting all these out. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Ain't that something? Definitely forgot to throw that switch. Oh well. Oh wait, oops. That's right, I forgot to throw the switch, so I should have left it. It's all good. These cars are definitely in no particular order, and that is okay. There's not a lot of lead room, so, you know, we do block the main. So I got to consider that, you know, when I start building this in real life. This train might have to be one that gets blocked by the yard. We'll see. 236503, where are you going? You're going to Mackey. So is the coal hopper. He's also going to Mackey. It actually works out pretty well. And the reefer... I don't know where the cold storage is. Must be right next to either Grundyke or Hall & Sons. Oh, yeah. Really right there. Alright, so let's do this. I need to grab that car anyways. So it lets you yank that car. Yeah. He's a pickup, so we're going to yank him out of the way. To be fair, I could pretty much take everything here. with the cabin and just set them aside. Let's do that, actually. This would probably be the proper way to do this move. Because, let's be honest, dispatcher would not want us killing the main out here. Let's see if we can do it. I want to test it. This is what I would put in the operating instructions. So there's our current 7 pickups, plus the cabin. Those will all fit there. And then we can work the rest from the inside track. And then we don't really have to pull out onto the main at all. Yeah. I like this. We're going to make this official policy. Go grab all your pickups, put them behind the cabin, shove the cabin onto the outside track, dump them there. Perfect. Like a charm. Alright, so that's a pickup. Those are Mackie cars. Those are Mackie cars. That's a set out right here. Okay. What am I leaving at Hall & Sons? Because that's got to go behind. 94318, that's right. That guy. We'll shove you guys down here, because there won't be any more cars getting set out there. It's kind of another reason that track is long with a lot of nothing. So you can get a little bit more switching space out of this really cramped area. Once again, the goal is to not actually have to get back out on the main anymore. See, look at that. Because, you know, there'd be northbounds and southbounds running through there. And the beer train. This will also let me get the Hall car where he needs to be so he can get sent out. This one right there. Oh, actually, sorry, correction. It's the Grundyke cars that need to go back there. Let me sit outside Grundyke. 2. The B&O and the Sue car. Alright, well then let's do that real quick. So... those 2 guys, followed by the reefer. For the co-op, followed by Hall & Sons. I said co-op, make cold storage. Sorry. Hey, it starts with a CO. Give me a break. Stop judging. All right, temporary off spot. Bruh, you're killing me. Where's that CC car going? Duh, to the tannery. Yeah. A little too close. Did I give myself enough space? No, I didn't. That's okay. When I go get that reefer, I can give myself enough space. But that's the funny part, is actually it was the reefer that was supposed to be next. Yeah, because the Pincy car there, that's for Hall & Sons. Yep, sure enough. So the reefer is actually next. Okay, well, back it up. To be fair, though, it's, in a sense, it's good that I've got him right there, because then it can kind of be the last thing I do. You know, once I get everything on the outbound train here, he gets to stay there. That's a good move, whether I intended that or not. Cough, cough, clearly didn't. So let's go ahead then and just set out this CC Fort Worth and Colorado car. Take everything else out anyway. Yes, those three we'll just set on our train real quick. We can shove these guys back and then we're out of here. We're off to Mackey's. To be fair, though, that actually counts as a set out there for those two. That's kind of funny. Definitely get that switch thrown. Oh, they both still are. Okay, I didn't actually throw them back. That's fine. So yeah, this is a moment where we'd have to ask dispatch for permission to come out real quick. So, you know, if other trains are running, you might would have to sit here and wait for a little bit. And that's okay. Yep, a little premature there. it's okay now for a little long this time because we don't need to get past this switch right here. To be fair, I didn't have to go quite that far, but I just wanted to make sure I was clearly past the clearance point. Went a little farther than necessary, but it's all good. It's all good. So there's a spot for the reefer. Alright, and then around we go to get the rest of our train. So everything's done except for Mackie. Cool. Pick up in 2 setouts. I believe there's only 1 car over there. Yeah. And we'll take the secondary entrance so we don't block up the ladder. I might actually make that the thumb. I kind of like that shot. Not gonna lie. I could throw a couple bushes along there. I should. I'll come back and do that sometime. Like little small ones like that, you know? Alright, get that thrown back to the main, get that thrown back there, because that's typically how you want to run this job. And I went too far, because I didn't think. 236503. Two sounds. That's right, 504272 was a pickup. All right, Cobain's got it. All right. Nab that SP car. Perfect. Just give him a nice gentle kick. I didn't kind of see it. I've got some elevation there. Yeah. Perfect. I have actually kicked a car on a model railroad. It was O scale, 2 rail. I don't think I've ever managed to kick an N scale car. I don't think I've ever tried either, though. Definitely kicked a car in HO scale. But 2 rail O scale is pretty easy. The couplers are big enough that setting the delay is really simple. And the couplers are also strong enough. They don't do anything funky. Alright. That does it. Nice. So, the tank car goes to track 3, and everything else goes to track 7. So it's one of those things, I'll be honest, right? I'll be honest. I don't particularly want a ton of cars going from North Grand Rapids to South Grand Rapids. Like, that's just across town. To be fair, yeah. Unless it's like a load that has to be on a rail car, like heavy machinery or something. But I also don't want to go through the amount of time and effort it's going to take in order to prevent that from happening. Like the schedule changes, the duplication, telling it all the places it can go instead of the one place that it can't. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to consider going into the yard track and making it where, like, this job can't deliver cars to track 7, for example, because if it can't, but the schedule allows it to send cars there, it'll just send it to Kalamazoo and back, which is even dumber. So, I'm just going to let it go, and, we're just going to let it be. It's going to be one of those things about the model railroad that just happens. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, make sure the switch is lined. It's a compromise. It's a compromise that I have to make because I don't want to go through the effort to fix it, because it doesn't bug me that much. But it's something for you guys to consider, because there is a way to make it. If you make it so the schedules will never send a car from North Grand Rapids to South Grand Rapids, you can prevent that from happening. But you would also, well, I guess if you fix it on the schedule end, you wouldn't have to do the yard track restrictions because they just wouldn't get set out there anyway. Yeah, they wouldn't even get routed there in the first place. So, but if you don't do the schedule restrictions, then you will have to do the yard restrictions, and then it's going to do something that's really dumb, like send it off to Kalamazoo and back, or to a different place and back. And that's like Muskegon and back or something, and that's definitely not what you want. So, yeah. Anyways, that was fun. That actually took me about 10 minutes more than I expected. Not bad, though. If we had started the video with the train already built, probably would have got that time back for me, but still feel like that was a pretty fast job. We didn't have to wait for anyone because no one else is running right now, but, in the real world, if this was my model railroad in N-scale and you guys were here operating with me, I mean, there's a good chance at least twice, probably, you would have had the hold short of the main through trains. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go put the yard goats back here where they go, back over on the bypass here for the ladder. So that was fun. Thanks for hanging out. I'm not sure what I want to make video-wise yet for the next one, but I'm sure I'll get something out there. Stay safe. We'll catch you guys next time.